Welcome back to Peppermint. Today we're going to be harvesting some more peppers and starting our fermenting for the season. We got so many, I don't know what to do with them. Welcome back.
This is a show about peppers, not a peppers about show, but a pepper show. We eat peppers, we cook peppers, we grow peppers. This is the pepper show, not peppers about a show. Subscribe them.
As I said, we have so many peppers I don't know what to do with here. Every type of pepper you can imagine. We got Fresnos, we got Cayenne, we got more ghosts than anything else. So what I'm going to be doing with all these is I'm going to be making a pepper mash that I then turn into a pepper sauce. Alright, so now I got my scale and peppers. You'll need a scale because you need to measure out 2% salt by volume. I have to look it up, but I think it's 2% salt by volume. So I'm going to prep all these, put them in a jar, then I add salt and stir them around to make sure salt gets on everything. Then I add them to a jar and let them sit to ferment for like a month. So in this we have a quarter of a white onion, 1 carrot small, 4 sweet peppers, 4 jalapenos, 5 Fresno peppers, 2 spicy Janes, and 25 cayennes in this bowl. So we currently have 25 ghost peppers going in, about 125 grams of peppers. You want to use a scale when doing this, that way you can get the salt right, because you have to have a certain amount of salt. I don't think too much is bad, but a certain amount to get the fermentation correct. Here's the rest of them so far. That's a hot bowl of peppers, a lot of peppers. Here we have a chopped ghost pepper inside. And that's all I'm doing is I'm just doing a rough chop. I just want the fermentation to get it into every part of the pepper. Still got a few more to go, but you can feel the burn with these on the fingers, the face. If you're doing this, you want to use gloves. If you're familiar with them, you already know. But you don't want to touch anything important to you after you do this. That is 1 spicy pepper. Looks like Seymour. Out. All right, so now I've got all my peppers chopped, everything in there. I washed my hands. Wash your hands after dealing with these peppers. I'm going to measure out how much I have here, which seems like a lot. And then I'm gonna figure out 2% of salt by volume, and I'm gonna verify that that's correct. I forgot to add, everything I'm gonna use is gonna be sterilized, cleaned very well with hot water and soap to verify that there's no bacteria, or to minimize the amount of other bacteria, harmful bacteria in this process. Everything needs to be as clean as possible. Jars, anything you're measuring, anything that's about to go in there needs to be clean. So after cleaning out the bowl and everything, we have 491 grams of produce to ferment. I'll be using my picking and candling salt for this. So we'll get, what's 2% of that? All right, so you want to do about 2 to 3% salt by volume. So I went to it 12.3 on my math because I had 491 grams of produce to ferment. So I'm using 12.3 grams of salt. And that would be 2 to 3% salt by volume of whatever you're fermenting. So I'm going to add the salt to this ferment mash right here. I'm just going to add it all in there, and I'm going to mix it around to make sure the salt gets well incorporated. Then they're going to go into the jar. So now that I've got my peppers in my jar, fit all that into 2, salt mixed in to start fermentation, I'm going to go and get wax paper circles cut the size of these lids, and that will keep the oxygen out. Oxygen is the one thing you want to keep out. Any oxygen in this environment will cause bacteria and bad stuff to grow, so we're going to keep it separated by creating a film on top that will keep it separated from the top of the lid where all the oxygen is. All right, so now I made these little wax paper coverings to keep the oxygen off the top of the ferment. I'll put these in a cool, dry place for a couple months, maybe a month, at the minimum a month. I might even go 2, it depends. More fermentation equals better chances in the pH you want. If you have a pH tester, you can test it. I'm gonna go with God on this one and just go a month and see where we're at. So I'll sit down here in a nice cool place. I always write down what I do, document. So if I like the combination, I may again, although this one's gonna be hot. So many hot peppers. Cannot wait to taste it. We'll come back and try it. Thanks again for watching. This is Peppermain, out. All right, so here we are with our fermenting peppers. You can see that liquid at the bottom. The salt is causing the liquid to come out. And now we have to burp it. Because if you don't burp it, can't explode. So I'm gonna take the lid off and you'll hear some gas escape, and then as the fermentation process is going. And also take a whiff of it. The smell will tell you a lot too. It should smell interesting, but not horrid. All right, so these peppers have been fermenting about 3 weeks now. So we're gonna take a look and see what they look like. They're in these jars here. Put the contents into this bowl. All right, so now I fermented all this. I'll open up and take a look at it. You can hear the gas escaping already. Smells very fermented. Very peppery, kind of sweet and tangy. I'm gonna pour all the contents into here. Do the same with this one too. Ooh, smells the same. Fermented, very spicy. A lot of juice. Will just help make the sauce more saucy. Whew, yeah. So those are our fermented peppers. They smell kind of tangy, but they don't smell off. They don't smell mildew. I didn't see any bad molds or anything on them. They smell like a really good hot sauce, actually. So we'll blend it up in the blender and see what we come up with. All right, so now I'm going to put my fermented peppers into my food processor and mix until it makes a sauce. That's what you'll see me doing now. I'm gonna take all the peppers I have and just toss them in here. Really well. In the mix. Ooh. Oh, that's a lot of heat. Oh. Okay. This is the true test. I'm just gonna try a little bit like that. Oh. 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 Oh, no, 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 no. Fermenting is done for the heat. I'm going to add some vinegar to it to make it more saucy and blend and see what I get. That is hot. That hurts everything. My soul. My face is red. Oh. I don't know if you know how much I took like a tiny bit. And that's a ghost pepper, so I just have to wait it out. It'll shorten real quick. Might give me some ice cream though. The part I'm struggling with is I gotta try it again to see how the flavor is, and I do not want to. The last time was harrowing. All right, it's getting closer to the consistency I want. I'm very happy with where it's looking, but it's looking very hot still, so I'm gonna try some more to see where the heat is. Mainly to see where the flavor is. Oh, I don't want to. Okay, here it goes. Oh, just a punishing bit. Oh, just a punishing. So this might be the hottest sauce I've ever made. I don't like it. The heat, the flavor's good. I'm gonna do some more vinegar. Yep. Oh, we'll be back. Here's what the sauce is looking like. Look at that color. Beautiful color. Beautifully fermented. Beautifully preserved. The flavors are just so peppery, so fresh. So hot, though. I can barely get through this. So I'm just adding the sauce now to a jar. And you can tell it's thick, but it's still runny. It's going to be a very thick hot sauce. It's still fermenting. I didn't warm it up to kill the fermentation bacteria. I just left it fermenting in the jar. We'll put it in the fridge and it'll ferment as long as I want. It's just getting hotter and hotter and more intense.